Welcome to the weekly channeled angel message. Let's see what the angels have for us today. So the image that's coming in is being around loved ones, like at a barbecue or something. So it's coming in. Let me see what the angels want to say with this image. Okay, and then they're also showing time by myself, like alone, and asking what's the difference. So when I'm around other people, how am I feeling? When I'm by myself, how am I feeling? And one, they're saying, like, is there a difference? And what's the difference? So they're kind of talking about sometimes we might feel alone when we're by ourselves, right? Like lonely. Sometimes we don't feel lonely when we're by ourselves. We might enjoy that time by ourselves. Sometimes when we're around other people, even though we're surrounded by people, we feel alone or we feel lonely. Sometimes we feel really connected and we're enjoying ourselves, or we feel overwhelmed and overstimulated. So the angels are saying this is just information for you for how to move through the world and navigate taking care of yourself and how you show up in relationships and what boundaries you need to have. But it's also about your wounds too, because they're showing like someone touching like a wound or a burn or something and someone be like, ow, like basically suggesting like we all carry these wounds and they can be activated when we're by ourselves or when we're around other people. The angels are also asking, how do you want to feel when you're by yourself around other people? Right, so if you're around people and you feel really alone and lonely, if that's not how you want to feel, then ask yourself, how do you want to feel? Do you want to feel seen? Do you want to feel like you belong? Do you want to feel connected? And asking yourself, what is it in you that might be something for you to look at and work on to improve that? And then, is it something about the relationships or the spaces that you're in? Like, are you in a space that's not welcoming and so you can't bring your full self? It wouldn't be safe. It's really hard to be your authentic self. Are you in spaces or in relationships where people don't respect your boundaries or don't respect your autonomy or agency or whatever it is? So that's part of it. But the angels are kind of saying they're like 60-40. So like 60% of our issues in relationships are usually ours, 40% are other people. Even they're saying like when it's other people, it's still partly our stuff, meaning like we're choosing to be in this relationship. So if a relationship isn't working for us, like someone's not respecting our boundaries, someone's not treating us with respect, that is still on us to decide, okay, I need to then maybe leave the relationship, or I need to ask for additional boundaries, or have a conversation with this person, right? It's still, there's so much that's within our control, which is like, in one way that can feel really empowering, but sometimes that can feel really overwhelming, and sometimes people go into a shame place and like judge themselves for that kind of stuff. So the angels are reminding us to have compassion and be curious. And when we're looking at our wounds and things that we want to work on, have compassion for ourselves, understanding that we're probably showing up in a certain way because we've been hurt or because we don't feel safe or something like that, some way we're trying to protect ourselves. And then be curious. Instead of judgmental, can we be curious about why is this happening and how we could work through it? And then the angels want to come back to that idea of like when we're by ourselves, how does that feel? Again, it's information is what they're saying. If we're by ourselves and we're like, oh my gosh, this is the most glorious thing, and I can only connect with myself when I'm by myself, there might be something to look at of like, are your energetic boundaries not as strong, and that you start to like mesh with other people when you're around them, that it's like so hard to maintain your sense of self when you're around others. That might just be information of like, that's something about yourself that maybe you can't fully change, but maybe there's ways to have a little bit of better energetic protection and boundaries that you don't have to feel as enmeshed and lose yourself when you're around others. The other thing is, if you're feeling like, oh, it's so nice to spend so much time on myself, like, is it because you never get that? Maybe you're caretaking a lot. Maybe you're really busy, and so something to look at of, do I need to shift something? Do I have the ability to shift something to get a little bit more alone time, even if it's like 15 minutes? If you're feeling kind of more the opposite of, I feel really alone and really lonely, and I really struggle to be by myself because maybe I don't like myself, or thoughts come up that I don't want to deal with, or emotions come up that feel really uncomfortable, that's also something to look at. Like, again, being curious of why is it hard to be by myself with no distractions? What am I running from? What am I afraid of or avoiding? And then how could I work through that? So a lot of this message that the angels are saying is really looking at how do you feel when you're by yourself? How do you feel when you're around other people? And looking at it as information about yourself, about who you are, but also about what could be worked on, looked at, healed, shifted, changed to bring you more inner peace, more connection, more joy, more connection to yourself, whatever the things that you're looking for. So if it's not exactly the way that you would like it to be, there's a possibility for that to change, but that would come from deep inner work. And that's a lot of the stuff that I help people on. So if you're interested in learning more about how I could help you and any of that stuff, feel free to message me, or you can book a free consultation on my website. But I think at least it's just really good for reflection, what the angels wanted to share with us today. So hope you can take some time to think about that.